Audien Hearing. These are Audien hearing aids. I bought them from CBS Deals off of the CBS Morning Show. They were very inexpensive. I think they were somewhere in the neighborhood of about $150, which is way less than I normally expect to pay for hearing aids. But I got them so that I can research them and see if they're what I want to use for myself. So they came in today. It took probably about 4 days for them to show up. Before I opened the package, I'll get that out of here. Inside the package is this discount card. It's actually gives me the ability to schedule an appointment with a hearing specialist. That might be interesting work doing, so I'll set that aside. I may get to that later. Here's the package. It came wrapped in cellophane. I already took the cellophane off. It's a pretty sturdy little packaging, what I would expect. And it's got a little tab right here, a little cloth tab. You pull that don't squeeze the box tight. You squeeze the box tight, you won't be able to get it out. Just hold on to it gently or put your finger right here, and then you can pull this box out. Once it's out enough, squeeze where the box isn't, squeeze up here, and it slides out very easily. So, pretty interesting little statement. Hearing for everyone. It's a nice little box. This is pretty cool when you open it. It opens up and there's all the material right there. Let's take that out and take a peek at that real quick. We can move that out of the way. This is labeled instruction manuals. And there's the do you need help card. You scan that QR code there, and I guess it will give me step-by-step tutorials, answers to frequently asked questions, and then 7-day-a-week support. Same thing on both sides. There's that $100 value. Claim your free setup appointment. Again, I got that twice. Here's and they're telling you very clearly it's a 4 weeks to better hearing. And so it tells me that expect it to get worse before it gets better. And then if you look inside here, it tells you that, week 1, dive in. Week 2, keep going. Week 3, almost there, and week 4, you're now adjusted, and it gives you some more information of what all that means. Bottom line, I think it's really saying to me, expect it to take 4 weeks. We'll put that there, and then we have the Get Started guide, and I really just takes me through the basics of turning the device on and off. It tells me clean your ears and choose the right ear dome size. Insert it into your ear, hold by the pull wire, find the right volume and mode. Very simple. How to fit and maintain your device. Very simple. Let's get started guide. I put that right there. This is interesting. A required weekly maintenance. That is really interesting. Repeat weekly to keep your devices functioning properly. And inside it says this is required maintenance in bold print. You must do this weekly or your device will stop working. Pretty blunt. Replace the wax guards once a week is basically what it's saying to do. And that's interesting because the other hearing aids I have do not require a weekly wax guard replacement. Pretty interesting. Then I have, this is pretty telling, usage warranties and regulations. I'm not going to read all this to you, but do you see that fine print? I mean, that is some fine print. Look at all that. So should I read this about warnings? It actually says when to see a doctor. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pages of warnings. Six pages of warnings. I don't know if I should freak out about that or not. And then we have the Atom 2 user manual. So this is going to walk me through, 20 different pages of, how to turn it on. What is all the stuff that's in it? Here's what's in the package. Fitting your ear domes, adjusting the volume, switching the listening mode. I need to read all of this so I understand it. Inserting in your ear, powering on, powering off, charging it. I'm going to get it over in a minute and get it charged, because I think I need to have it charged up before I use it. So there's the Atom 2 user guide. Set that there. Here's the accessories. Here's the USB-C charger. So, or is that USB-A? I can't remember what that one is. I think it's a C. Here's the charging brick. I'll put that together because I know I'm going to need to plug this thing in. Actually, I'm going to go over here and plug it into my strip over here because I'll need to charge them up. And then inside, here's one set of hearing domes, another set of ear domes. Here are the 4 wax replacement kits. They're basically the tips that you replace out. Here's a little hairbrush for it. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what that little pin. I get the instructions will tell me that. Well, that's for clearing out the wax out of the end of the hearing aid. And then here's the hearing aids. We'll move this cute little box over to the side. Audien hearing aids. There's the charging port. There's the lights that would light up once it's charging. And then if I open this up, and if I open this up, there's the hearing aids. Again, they're really simple. There's a little wire that you use to set this down. You can see there's a little wire that you pull on, and there's a button right there you may or may not be able to see. And then there's the default hearing, the ear dome. And so what I guess I need to do now is I need to charge these up. This is also interesting. The moment you pull it out, it turns on. And then when you put it back in, it turns off. And also, equally interesting, they're identical. Most hearing aids, you have a left and you have a right. These are identical. So I guess it makes no difference which ear you stick it in. Close it up, and I'm going to plug it in. You can hear they're still on. All right, I'm going to let these charge, and after they're fully charged, we'll come back and I'll show you how I use these hearing aids in my own ears. Okay, I charged these up overnight, and you can see, if you can see the little lights, you can see there's 2 greens and a red. The greens are the left and the right hearing aids. The red is just letting us know that the case has power. Now, it's also important to know this. This is all about the Audien Atom 2. This case will not charge the hearing aids unless it is plugged in and has power. It will not charge without power. So anyway, I charged them up. Something also important to understand as well is that the Audien Atom 2, these are identical, left and right. There is no left and right. These can go into either ear because they are not connected. They don't sync. They are basically an independent hearing aid all by themselves. So, and then the other thing is that, you want to pick, let me see, where are they? I have I call them booties. Audien calls them cones. These are the ear cones and you want to pick the right size. Actually, there's 2 little baggies of them, different sizes. You want to pick the right cone. I'm going to use the word booty. And put it on the hearing aid that fits your ear canal the best. Now, I found for me, go figure, that the best one for me is the smallest one. And the way you put them on and take them off is you grab the hearing aid on the side. You don't grab the little wire. You don't grab the little plastic wire. You grab the sides of the hearing aid. So you're pinching it like that. And then you grab the booty and, you got to get a hold of it sometimes with your fingernail or get a hold of the edge. They're pretty tough, so they won't rip easily at all. And then you can pull it off. And then when you go to put the right one on for you, you align the center of the hearing aid with the center hole, and you get it lined up, and you just wiggle it around, and it'll actually just slide right on there. And you have it on there. If it looks uniform all the way around, it's on there pretty good. So I did that, so you want to change the little booty / cone that best fits for you. Now, here's the next thing. When you go to put these in your ear, again, there's no left or right. When you go to put them in your ear, you may not be able to see there's a little button, little indentation on the end of it. And that's the control button where you can control the volume level and the mode of whether it's conversation, TV, outdoor, or restaurant. Those are the different modes. You press that button. If you just press it quickly, it changes the volume 5 different levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know which level you're on because it'll beep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. If you hold the button, and you can only do this when it's in your ear so you can easily hear it. If you hold the button, then there's another little beep. Actually, Audien calls it a boop. It's another little beep, but that's when you hold it, it'll beep 1, 2, 3, or 4 times. 1 time's conversation, 2 beeps or boops is TV, 3 is restaurant, 4 is outdoor. I may not have that in the right order. It's in the book. So anyway, be aware that when you go to put this in your ear, you're going to end up pressing that button. And so it's going to likely change the volume. And once you get it in your ear, you need to press the button to change it back to where you want it to be. Now, to get it in your ear, hold the little wire. I recommend that you hold it at that angle so it goes down into your ear. And then you just put it in your ear. Now, you're going to hear it squelch as you're doing it, but you just got to roll it around a little bit. Eventually, you'll get it to the point where you'll feel it, and I'm pressing the button, you'll feel it actually slide into your ear canal. And you know it went in there because my finger went in deeper, not a lot deeper, but a little deeper. And it actually, you can feel it fit pretty snugly in my hearing aid. And also once you get it in there, immediately what you hear through that ear is definitely changed. Now it's in there. Now I change the volume I don't try to press it with the flat of my finger. I just press it with the tip of my fingernail, just gently. And now it's down to level 1. When I pressed it, it went to 5. I pressed it again and went to 1. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this hearing aid. Again, hold the wire so that it goes down into the ear like this and put it in your ear. You'll hear it squeak a little bit, squeal a little bit. Roll it around, just gently roll around, press it on the end, and again, you'll feel it slide into the ear canal. And that feels pretty decently. And I don't know if you can see it. Can you see? It's just, it's down below the edge of my ear. I hope you can see that. I'm not making a fool of myself. But, if you want to make sure, just press it a little bit more. Rolling the finger a little bit as you press, and you'll feel it. And again, if you have it right, you'll notice the sound significantly changes. The audio significantly changes. Now, again, I'm going to press it with the tip of my finger, and I'm going to bring it back to 1. It's up to 5. And now it's at 1. I'm going to do the same thing here. Press the tip with my fingernail. And then back to 1. So I have my hearing aids in my ear. I had the volume level set to 1, which, by the way, is the recommendation that Audien gives us in their user guide and in their 4 weeks to better hearing guide. And this is real. By the way, this is real. You have to give it a legitimate attempt. You have to give it time. You cannot put these in your ear in 1 week, say, I like it or I don't like it. You have to get used to the difference. You have to absolutely condition your brain to hear differently. And this takes time. And again, Audien recommends 4 weeks. And so I'm just telling you right now, you're gonna fail miserably if you put them in your ears and after a week you say, I give up, or 2 or 3 days. You've got to give it time. Okay, so the other recommendation that Audien and lots of other hearing aid companies have the same recommendation is don't put these in and out of your ears all day long. Now, what Audien recommends is a minimum of 2 hours a day. My recommendation, as being someone who wears hearing aids regularly, my recommendation is put it in the morning, take it out at night. Maybe take it out when you go swimming or you take a shower, but leave it in your ear all day long. It's definitely, I like the one little graph that Audien has on the back of their guide. They says, expect it to be worse in the beginning. But as you get used to it, you'll notice that it gets better. And that's real. You put these in your ears and you've never worn hearing aids before or used earbuds or earpods, you're going to hate them. Get used to them. Make sure you have the right little booty or cone. Make sure they're in comfortable. And again, my recommendation is try to have them in there all day long because that's going to give you the greatest process for not only conditioning your brain to get used to hearing sounds differently, but condition you so that you're not always wondering, oh, do I need my hearing aids? Do I not need my hearing aids? Oh, I forgot my hearing aids. My recommendation, put them in the morning, take them out at night, except take them out when you're going swimming or doing a shower. Anyway, that's my recommendation. Now, in regards to these hearing aids, getting them out, I think it's a little trickier than the other hearing aids that I use. They have a little wire there, and the idea is to pull on the wire. But for me, what I've discovered is a little plastic wire lays down on the inside of my ear, and it's hard to get a hold of. So you're going to have to practice, and you're going to have to, actually, I'm getting a little bit better at it. Practice getting your finger down underneath it, and then you can pull it, and you can get it out of your ear. And then you do the same thing. Actually, I just proved myself a little idea. Get my finger underneath that little wire, and then I can pull it out and get it out of my ear. So, but again, I recommend leave them in all day long unless there's a reason why you shouldn't, such as in the shower or in a pool. Now, the next thing is Audien recommends that, and all hearing aid companies come with this, they come with these what's called little earwax filters. And these little filters, if I take the little booty off the end, pull that off, these little filters, see the little white dot? That's the filter. And this little blue stick, if I show it to you, let me get one out of the bag here. If I show it to you, you'll notice two things. On one end, there's nothing. On the other end, there's the white filter. And so what you do is you take the end that doesn't have the filter and you stick it into the middle of the filter that's on the hearing aid, and you'll feel it ever so slightly click, and then you pull it out. And once you do that, then you take the end that has the new filter and you stick it in, and you'll, again, ever so slightly, you'll feel it click. And when you do, you'll be able to pull out the blue stick. You'll have the bad one on this end, and you'll have, this will be empty because the new one you've inserted. And by the way, my recommendation is once you do that, throw this in the trash. Don't hang on to this. There's no need to hang on to a bad filter. Just throw it in the trash. But what Audien recommends, in their guidebook, they recommend that you replace these filters on both units every week. Now, the hearing aids that I use from another supplier, another manufacturer, they don't recommend that. They recommend that you change the filter when you realize that you're not getting the audio, or you're not hearing as well as you were hearing. And by the way, when the filter gets plugged up, you will know it. These will not be working, and you'll be saying, this sucks, these things are horrible. Stop, change the filters, put them back in, and you should absolutely see a huge difference between a hearing aid that's got a bad filter and a hearing aid that has a good filter. Now, Audien's on their, they have in the documentation, they give you this, link to their, their maintenance page. They sell these little filters. They sell a 1 month for $12, which will basically 1 month will be 8 of these filters. And you can actually get 3 months, which is, what is that? 3 times 8 is 24 for $27. It's a savings if you buy 3 months versus buying 1 month. And you're going to need them if you're committed to using hearing aids. If you're committed to the Audien Atom 2, get yourself 3 months of those filters. It's an inexpensive way to make sure your hearing aids are always working. And the other thing too is, use the programmable button. Use the button to change the what I refer to as the amplification volume. Change it when you need to, so you can better hear in different environments, in different places. If I'm in my office here, I put it on 1. If I'm walking around the house and my wife's in the house, and maybe I need to raise it up to 2 or 3. Start at a 1 and raise it as you need to raise it, and lower it when you need to lower it. Again, quick little presses on the button changes the volume level. The other thing too is the Audien built into this what's called listening modes, and you want to adjust the listening mode for the environment you're in. There's 4 listening modes: conversation, which is just you sitting around a room with family and friends or whoever in a meeting. There's restaurant mode, which is noisy all around you, and it does a little bit of capturing just the conversation near you. TV mode, which is designed to capture the audio coming at you and supposedly not capturing it from behind you. And then the 4th mode is outdoor. And again, the way you change the listening mode is you press the button, you hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, and you'll hear it beep. Audien calls it a boop, but you'll hear it beep once. Now, if you're holding it, not pressing, for conversation, it'll beep twice for restaurant. It'll beep 3 times for TV and 4 times for conversation. Again, the difference between volume is quick press. Listening mode is press and hold, and you'll hear the tone. So, now, all of this aside, here's my recommendation. I recommend that you buy a hearing aid that has noise canceling features, which the Atom 2 does not have noise canceling features. My other recommendation is that you buy a hearing aid that is adjustable besides simply volume and listening mode. And that might include the ability to adjust it based on frequency, based on other controls. And my third recommendation is that you buy a hearing aid that will connect via Bluetooth to your cell phone. Now, I use my cell phone a lot. I take phone calls, I listen to music, I listen to podcasts, and I like listening to it in either my ear pods or my over ear. But if I had these in my ear, I can't use my ear pods. If these were Bluetooth, then I can listen to my cell phone music, audio, etc., through my hearing aids. So I recommend 3 things. I recommend hearing aids that have noise canceling, hearing aids that are tunable in some way or another, and thirdly, hearing aids that are Bluetooth. And by the way, those 3 requirements for me mean that there is a left hearing aid and a right hearing aid. They're not interchangeable, which is another big difference, that the Atom 2 has none of this. So that would be my recommendation. Now, by the way, Audien is a great hearing aid company. They have other hearing aids that fit or meet these expectations that I have, that I'm recommending to you. Hey, I'm Teddy. I'm all about technology, and I'm all about helping you overcome the risks and fears. All of us, as we get older, many of us may need hearing aids. So I thought that this experiment with this hearing aid could be useful for you to understand them a little bit more, and to help you to make the right decision for the right hearing aids for you.